Hello, lovely people. Welcome to Val Fashion's YouTube channel. My name is Eunice. Thank you for clicking on this video. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. And if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please kindly hit on the subscribe button to subscribe and also put on the notification bell so that you get notified once I post any new video. Thank you. So today we're going to be learning how to make this lovely Batwing Bubu with a mermaid down part. It's a combination of lace fabric, Batwing in the sense that the sleeve is running from the shoulder all the way to the hip line. It's really beautiful. I hope this is what you're interested in learning. Kindly stay tuned while we jump right into the tutorial. Thank you. Thank you. So this is the fabric we'll be using to achieve this style. I have 6 yards of Ankara fabric here. Then I have two and almost half of this dry lace here. So I'll be drafting on this pattern paper before we transfer to fabric. So I'll keep this aside. So first I have the shoulder line. Here's the bust line. Let me label it BL, then waistline, hip line, and then this is knee line here, and then that's the full length. I'm working with a full length of 62 inches. So now on the bust line, I'll be entering quarter of the bust measurement. Quarter of the bust measurement I'm working with is 13 inches. So 13 plus 2 inches for my sewing allowance. So here is my 13 inches and then 2 inches. On the waistline, I'll enter quarter of the waist measurement. Quarter of the waist measurement is 11 inches. 11 plus 2 inches. Quarter of the hip measurement is also 13 inches. 13 plus 2 inches. So this is plus 2 inches. Yes, here, 2 inches. So on the knee line, it is what I have on the hip line that will determine what we'll be using on the knee line. So what I have on the hip line now, I have a total of 15 inches. I'll be subtracting 2 inches from it to enter it on the knee line. So that means on the knee line, I'll be using 13 inches. So here on the knee line, I have 13 inches. So, and then on the hemline here, I'm going to be adding 5 inches to whatever I have here to this point. So you can do a minimum of 5 inches to whatever I have on the knee line. So in my own case now, 13 plus 5, that's 18. But here I'll be using 20 inches. Remember I said a minimum, so you can go more than that. So here is my 20 inches. So I'm just going to use my ruler to connect it. So I'll be connecting from the bust line to the waistline, from waistline to hip line, then from the hip line to the knee line here, and then from the knee line to the hem line. So I'll need a longer ruler. So I'm just going to connect it like this. So having done this, now take note that on the shoulder line, I didn't do anything yet on the shoulder line. Can you see the way my marking went? This is the bust line, waistline, hip line, knee line, and all that. So you can see the mermaid effect. So on this shoulder line, I'll be entering the bust measurement on the shoulder line. This is because I'm trying to make a mermaid boo. So I want it to drop a little on the shoulder area. So I'm not working with the actual shoulder measurement. I want to have that Batwing sleeve, okay? So I'll come here and enter quarter of the bust measurement 2 on the shoulder line. So can you see? Now I will have a straight line. So quarter of the bust measurement, I'll just connect it straight to this point. Quarter of the bust measurement plus sewing allowance. So that is it. This is what I have here. Can you see what it looks like? So let's take our measurement. So that means everything I have here is about 14.5. Okay, the line is supposed to be straight, so that should give me 15. That's plus 2 inches, just like I added. So everything I should have here should be 15 inches. So now I have my 15 inches, and that's fine. Okay, so now I will cut another piece of paper and add to this side so that I can show us how to achieve the batwing. Haven't extended my paper. Can you see? I've extended my paper. So from here now, I'm going to take the shoulder measurement of my client. The shoulder measurement of my client is half of it is 9 inches. So this is my 9 inches. So from this 9 inches, I'll confirm what my sleeve length is. So from the 9 inches to this point, I have 18 inches. So this will get to a 3/4 length. So now I went ahead to extend my line all the way to the end of the paper. So at this point now, I will come down by 1.5 inches for my shoulder slant, and then I will slant it all the way to 3 inches here. So I'll just connect it this way. Okay. So I haven't drawn my shoulder slant. Now I'll come to the knee line here. And you see this is the knee line. On the knee line, I will go up by 3 inches. From this knee line, I will go up by 3 inches. So having gone up by 3 inches, I'm going to curve this line to meet this point here. So this is what I'll just do. Just use my marker to curve it to make this point here. So can you see? So now I have my batwing sleeve. So now for the neckline, I'm going to be using a neck width of 4 inches. So I'll mark my 4 inches here. And then a neck depth of 3 inches for the back. I'm just going to connect it like this. Using neck depth of 3 by 4 by for the back. And then for the front, I'll be using a neck depth of 6 inches. I want the neck to be a little wide. So I'm just going to place it like this. Same neck width of 4 inches and then neck depth of 6 inches now. So can you see? So I have my 6 inches. So now we are done. So I'm going to be cutting on the shoulder slant. First cut on the front back neckline and then follow the shape to cut out my yoke. So I'm going to do it while we watch. So I'm cutting on the back neckline first. Here. Then I'll come here now and follow this shape now. This is what I'm doing. Just take note. Watch carefully. I understand what I'm doing. You see the shape I have here. And then listen. So this is going to be for my batwing sleeve. Can you see that? So now I'll go ahead and cut out the down part. That this is me cutting the mermaid side now. So this is what I have. So now I have, let's put this aside. So now this is what it's going to look like. This is my sleeve, can you see? And then this is the actual body. So I'm going to place this down on my fabric and cut it out on fold. This will serve as my back piece. Before I'll cut the front neckline and adapt it into the front, and I'll show us how to cut them in different parts because we're going to be using our lace to make it up. So I've cut out my back piece. Can you see what I have? I place my fabric and cut out exactly what I need because this is include my sewing allowance is included in this piece. Okay, that's in my pattern. I've already added my sewing allowance. So this is what my back piece looks like. So the front is where I'm going to be doing this slash slash in between. Okay, so now on the bust line, I will go up by 3 inches from the bust line. This is where the bust line is. I'll go up by 3 inches. So I'm going to be using my blue marker so that we can see the difference. So I'll go up by 3 inches. I will draw this line here. This is where I'll be cutting this part. So the next one will be on the waistline. So this is the waistline. I'll be cutting exactly on the waistline of my client. So let me just use my blue marker so that we'll know that this is where we'll be cutting. And then I have also on the hip line. So I'll be cutting also on the hip line. Here, this is one. And then also on the knee line. So I'll also come here. So you can see that the only line that we're not cutting on basically now is only on the bust line. So here is the knee line. I'm also going to be using my blue pen marker. So from the knee line, I will come down by 10 inches from the knee line. So here is the knee line. I'll come down by 10 inches from the knee line here. This is 10 inches from the knee line. And then from that knee line, I'll also come down by 8 inches from this point. Now, 10 inches below the knee line, then I'll come down by 8 inches. So here is my 8 inches. So basically I have 3 inches to the end. Okay, so I'm going to be slashing them open. I'm going to be cutting all of them open, but first I will have to number them. This is going to be number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, so that we don't interchange them. So before we do that, we'll go ahead and cut out our front neckline. Since we have cut out the back neckline already, since we have cut out the back piece already rather. So we'll go ahead and cut out the back neckline like this. So now I'll go ahead and cut on this upper chest line. And then I'll cut on the waistline. This is directly on the waistline. Then I'll also cut on the hip line. And then I'll cut here also. So I'll come here and cut this also. And then I'll cut this. So now I have my 7 pieces. I need to cut out my fabrics. Can you see what I have? I have all my pieces and I added my allowances where necessary. What do I mean by where necessary? You can see that the first one I cut out exactly what I have on my paper. For the second, I cut with 1/2 inch only on this side. Okay, this is because here I will have my lace fabric in between. So of course, by the time my lace fabric is going to be 2 inches wide. So if I have 2 inches wide fabric and I place it in between this, when I use 1/2 inch to join them, that's I'll be sewing them with 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. Of course, that 2 inches will leave me with extra 1 inch, which will make up the length back to what it is. That's the 1 inch that will be lost here will come back. So there's no need for me to add sewing allowance here because I'll be using 2 inches fabric. So the places I added half inch are those ones that I will join together so that I can have my sewing allowance. So now I have my sleeve. Can you see what it looks like? Because this is how I'm going to be fixing it into the outfit like this. Can you see that? So my lace, I went ahead to cut out the lace edge of the dry lace I'm using. I'm going to be placing this lace edge at the edge of the sleeve also. Can you see that? So this is what I have. Can you see? So I'm going to be placing it this way. So all I need to do is to place my sleeve on top of it like this, because I'll need it to give me that curved shape. Can you see? So now I have my lace edge finishing off my fabric like this. So you want to just blend up the shape so that this part too can blend up nicely. So having done this, I think I am okay with this. So by the time I sew it together, I won't have this. So this is it. So I'm going to be sewing it like this, and then like this all the way. Okay, so this is it for the lace edge. So now the next thing I'll be doing, that after we are done with this, I'm going to still trace out this same thing, exactly what I've done here. I'll trace out the same shape too on the second one. But that aside for now, I'll now bring in my remaining lace fabric. So I'm going to be cutting 2 inches in length and then the same width as what I have here. Here I'm supposed to have 15 inches and that's what I have here. So I have 15 inches. So of course it is 15 inches on fold. So I'm going to be cutting 15 inches on fold and 2 inches in length. So let's confirm. I also have 15.5 here, which is okay. So and then 2 inches in length. So I'm going to cut all the pieces of fabric that I'll be fixing into them, and then I'll show us how to go about it. So I'll cut out my lace fabric. So this is 2 inches, the one that will be in between. So here I don't have sewing allowance because this will serve as my sewing allowance. So here we are. This part, this will fall out. Can you see that it's quite long? I made it 5.5 inches. So by the time I fold the hem with half inch like this, I'll be left with 4.5. And then by the time I sew in half inch this way, I'll be left with 4 inches that will fall. So this will be the same thing as the first one, that's 2 inches. So half inch will be sewn, half inch will be sewn, and then 1 inch will replace what we have lost. Then this part is the knee side. So the knee, you can see that it's quite big. This is where I'm going to be having pleats. So that's why I made my fabric. This is what I have. I have 35 inches on fold, so which is 70 inches. I'll be pleating it on this side. Okay, so yeah, so and 70 inches here. What I have here is 13 inches. Can you see? So 13 inches on fold. So by the time I open, I'll have 26 inches. So 70 inches, that is like 2.5 times
That's almost three of what I have here so that I can pleat it. So you want to cut, like you can multiply what you have here by 2.5 or by 3, so that you can have enough fabric to pleat here. So and then this one, you can see I also have a length of 5.5 inches. This will be in between, so that's why I need half inch to sew them together. That's why my fabric has a half inch. So I'll fold the hem by half inch, and then fix it into it, so I'll be left with 4 inches. So this is the last one now. So this is the last one now. This is going to be, I'll fold half inch, and then I'll place it on top of it. I'll fold it. This will just be on in between it. Sorry, I'll be sewing it in between it. So I'll fold half inch. So I'll be left with what I have here now. I have 3.5, so I'll be left with 2.5. So by the time I sew in half inch, I'll be left with 2 inches at this part. So this will be at the hem. That's after everything. I'm going to fix this so that this will be the one touching the ground. Can you see that? So I cut two pieces. One will be for the back piece and the other will be for the front piece. So I've gone ahead to join my pieces together. So you can see the first one, I have my space of 1 inch in between it. Like I said, it was going to replace what we are going to lose. So you can see this one, I sewed it in between. So it's just laying on top of the waistline here. And then you can see the hip line too. I have that opening of the same 1 inch. And then here is the knee. Can you see? I have my pleats and it's looking all nice. And then this is this one. It's on top of it also. It's laying on it. And then you can see this one. It's a short one. It's close to the hem. And then this is the last that I have at the hem. I went ahead to pleat it, tiny, tiny pleats also. So for the back piece, I also went ahead to pleat at the hem too, so that I can have the same thing for both front and back. Okay, so here we are. So now I went ahead to cut out my facing. So I placed my facing on the right side of my fabric so that I can sew it to the wrong side. I'm sewing it to the wrong side. So, and then for my front piece also, I went ahead to cut my facing. You can see it's neatly woven. I place it on the right side so that I can sew on the neckline. So I'll do that, sew on the neckline, join the shoulders, and then I'll show us how to join the sleeves. You can see the sleeve. I've already attached the lace edge to it. You see what it looks like. I went ahead to join it at the middle here before I went ahead to attach the lace edge, but the lace edge is not slashed. You can see. So I'll do that and come back and show us. So I'm done joining my shoulders together. And you see what we have. And then I also went ahead to weave the shoulder. Remember that this dress is not going to be lined, so you need to weave every part you're joining together so that your work is neat. So now it's time for me to fix the sleeve. So remember that with our sleeve we have joining on the shoulder. So I'm just going to bring the sleeve this way. Take note that the shoulder is opened for now. So I'm going to bring my sleeve this way. I'll place it over like this, making sure that these points are aligning. So the easiest way to align it is to make sure that you pin them together. So I'll come down by pin it this way like this. I want to pin all the way down to the hem like this. That's down to the end of the sleeve. So this is the end here. So now for this sleeve, you notice that this side is a little sharp because this is the waistline. So you want to make sure to follow the shape the way exactly the way it is like that. To make sure that that sharp part, which is the waist, or the part that is curved, no part of our body is sharp. The part that is curved, it sits inside nicely. Can you see? So now once I open up, can you see that it's blending up with the shape of the waistline. This part that is curved, you can see that it came in a little more around that place. So you want to make sure that you are pinning it correctly. So everything I've done here, I'm just going to repeat the same thing on the other side. So I'm done pinning them together. Can you see? I'll make sure that they are lining here. So you can see the waist, you can see how curved this part is. So you want to make sure that the batwing sleeve, you also fix it in a way that it curves nicely. So I'm going to take this to my sewing machine. I will sew on half inch. I'll be starting from the shoulder here, down this way, sew on half inch. Start from the shoulder here, down this way too. I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side. Then we'll see the next thing to do. So I'm done fixing my sleeve. Can you see what I have? And it's looking all neat. I also went ahead to fix hemming gum, to iron hemming gum on the neckline. So you see my facing is no longer going up. So now this is what we have. You can see it's still open. So and then for my sleeve also at the shoulder line, you can see that it's well aligned. You want to make sure that it's aligned. So now the next thing I'll do is this. I'm going to be flipping this. Look at what I'm doing. This is how it was. This is how it was. So I'm going to be flipping it inside like this. Can you see what I'm doing? So can you see my sleeve? I flipped it in this way. So I'm going to do the same thing for the other side too. I'll flip it in this way too. Can you see? So I'll bring it in like this. So I want to make sure that at this side where this curve on the waist, you need to just make sure that you're pushing this side well. So I'll come here to do the same thing on this side. Can you see? So push it right side facing right side. So I need to go ahead and pin sleeve like this inside, like this. From the shoulder here, I'll come down by 10 inches. I'll place my tape like this, and then I'll come down by 10 inches like this. So on this side, I'm going to repeat the same thing. I also come down by 10 inches. This is going to be my sleeve opening. Okay, so for this side now, I'm going to hold them together. Take note that the sleeve is still inside. So I'm going to hold them together like this. And then I'll be sewing. Remember that I've sewn on half inch already to join my sleeve. So I'll be sewing on another half inch. I mean, on this part, remember that I've sewn on half inch. So I'm just going to sew on extra half inch so that I'll end up sewing on my 1 inch that I said I was going to be sewing on. So I'm going to mark my half inch all the way down. That's extra half inch. So at this point where I have the waistline, we want to make sure to shift it very well. I'll pin it like this. I want to make sure to shift it so that it doesn't give me any gathering. Can you see what I have inside? So you want to make sure that you don't have any pack around there. Okay, so I'm going to pin it, and then I'll sew from this place, from here, leaving this side. I'm going to be sewing on half inch, extra half inch, all the way down to the hem. By sewing on extra half inch, that means I'm sewing on 1 inch. I'll do the same thing on the other side, and then I'll show us. So after pinning, I'm going to be sewing on 1 inch all the way down to the hem. Okay, and I'll be repeating the same thing also on this side down to the hem. So I'll do that and come and show us, because we are done with this outfit. I'm done joining my sides. You see? So I'll go ahead to join my sides. So now the next thing I'll do is to iron it open. I'll make sure that I iron my seam lines open. This will actually help the mermaid to come out well. That's the fish shape to come out well. That's the essence of weaving them separately, so that I can iron all my seam lines opened. So, and then, but before I do that, I'm going to turn the right side so that we can see. You see? Can you see how the waistline is curving in and it's giving the nice fit? And you can see this is where the hand is going to come out from. So I'm going to press it and then wear it on the mannequin so that we'll see what we have. You see how this part is too. This is without ironing and it's looking all nice. So let's press it and show us what we have.
So here we are, we're done with our Batwing Mermaid Bubu. This is the outcome. I also went ahead to stone the body. You can see it's looking all glittery and beautiful. This is the Batwing sleeve. Can you see? So you can see what it looks like. It came out really nice. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Kindly like, share, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. See you in my next one. Bye.